Hey, what's up? So we should be live. Let me know you can hear me well. 1 second. I'm gonna confirm audio. Yeah, okay. So you should be able to hear me well. We should be live. Thank you to everyone who is here. I'm gonna close the vid on my end because I'm hearing myself. That's never a good thing. Let's see who's in the house. We have Chris Bushnell. Hey, Chris, how are you? We'll be there. So here we go. Started a little late. We'll have to apologize for the delay. Hey, Christine Bourgeois, how are you doing? You can actually see Ruth's tail. Let me show you Ruth. There we go. How are you, Ruthie? So yeah, today's gonna be a really chill, laid-back stream. Thank you so much, Aaron, for letting me know that you can hear me well. Hey, Crispy, good afternoon from Hamburg, Germany. Basically, we can do whatever you want. If you have any questions for me, just let me know, and I'll answer anything. Technique, watercolor, art, drawing, whatever, inspiration stuff. Forgot to change the color on this little thing here. So let me do that as we speak. I need to find a color that matches the color I have there on top. I like playing around with the branding here. You'll see this in just a second. I need something a little more teal kind of thing. Yeah, we're good. So my ADD won't let me get away with not matching it perfectly. So let me copy the number, and we should have it now. Is that it? Is that it? What is it? Yeah, so in any case, yeah, I think that's good. That's good. We're matching. So let me see what you're saying here. Handy Shay, hello. How are you? Just a second. I want to make it a little colder in here. So I actually have a lot of things that I've been working on to show you. So if you want to see paintings or sketches, I have a lot. But I want to just get this going with in a more conversational kind of way. So definitely feel free to ask any questions. I have my cold tea with a bit of Campari in it. Maybe, allegedly, I don't know. But just poured it, put some ice in it, and I'm sipping. It must be like maybe 0.5% alcohol. But yeah. Hey, Chris. Yeah, I'm happy to finally have you here. It's been a while, right? Let me get this closer because I'm not doing anything on the desk today, so I can do that. I actually have a new phone. May got me a new phone, so that's nice. Yeah, Instagram told me that my countdown is over and I should go live soon. But yeah, it's bigger than my previous. This is an iPhone 12. I had an iPhone 7 for probably 5 years, if not more. So finally, having this upgrade is nice. Bigger screen, better photo quality, as you will see, a better video quality as well. So let's see who's in the house. I'm expecting a smaller audience today because it's not going to be like a process or anything like that. I've been having a lot of fun doing these conversations that are a bit more, intimate. Fewer people. If you're not in the Discord, you should join because there it's really much closer to that. It's more fun, more of a chat kind of a thing rather than comments on posts. I think it works better. Rolf says hello from Norway. Thank you for being here, Rolf. Aaron says just waking up takes about 4 hours, so I can't paint in the morning like I wish I could. Oh yeah. What is it like? That's how it usually is, or is it just a rough morning? Yeah, sometimes it takes long. David, how are you, my friend? I hope you're doing well. Promise is buffering, but hopefully it stopped buffering. Finally connected. Good day to you. Thank you, Chris. D. Johnson, good morning from Iowa. Helmet family, hi, buddy. Which is the best college for fine art? Oh, I have no idea because I didn't go to. Oh, and I can show your comments. I didn't go to any art college. Here we have two that are considered to be really good. We have Betzalel, which has an international name to it, so a lot of people are familiar with it. We also have Shankar, but that's not. I don't know. That wasn't for me, so I just learned by my own. But yeah, I for some it's probably a good decision, the right decision. Aaron says, would it be cool to see your more creative or wild paintings? Do I have something like that on hand? I don't think so, really. For paintings, no. But I actually have some concept art that I've been working on for my manga, and that's very different from what you usually see. So let me see if I can show you something like that. This is funny. So this is the main character. I was just playing around with proportions and trying to figure out how to draw the character the same way properly. So it's very different from what I usually share with you. And then I did a bunch of these, just repeating. It's the same angle. I'm just trying to figure out like what's the right way to do it. And I wrote down for myself, very good, because this attempt was really good, in my opinion. Do I have anything wacky like to show you? I'll find something. We can do like a quick sketchbook tutorial. I can just pull out something here. I have a lot of these, and we can look at some paintings, something we haven't seen for a while, maybe. Steve Hanley says, hi from East Coast, Canada. Thank you for being here. We have Tom, a dancer in the house. Hey, peeps. We have Money B. Good morning, Liron, from Catawba Island, Ohio. Well, I have no idea where that is. I have to Google it now. Sorry, bear with me. Oh, okay, it's not an actual island. Oh, or is it? Wait a second. Wait a second. Oh, so it is an island. Oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. I see. Oh, that's really cool. Yeah, because I forgot that you have the whole northern part, basically Cleveland area and everything, next to, what is it, a Great Lake, right? Lake Erie or Erie, I'm not sure how you pronounce it. I actually took a ride around it on our way to Canada, so that's funny. Went to Canada by car. Bikash says, hi, hello, sir, from Nepal. Thank you for being here, Bikash. Andrea, good morning from Colorado. Helmet Family says, sir, is study of anatomy useful in watercolor? Yeah, for sure. So I think if you can do something that most people don't do, this is a fun idea. I don't think I ever really talked about it. I talk a bit about loaning skills from one medium to another. So what you learn from oils, you can transfer onto watercolor or styles as well. But I think if you can do something that very few do, it'll give you an edge. So for example, when you look at a lot of watercolors, especially the ones that are around cityscapes, landscapes, it looks like the person painting them didn't really try to make the people the focus, which is, fair play, because very often it's the scene itself that is the focus. But I do feel like very often the figures just aren't that accurate anatomically. So if you can get that down, which is something no one does, really no one does that, I think you can get an unfair advantage, quote unquote, over other people, because if your figures look great, that will set you apart. That's the artist that has paintings of cityscapes where the figures actually look like real people rather than weird kind of hunched, people that always have the same kind of setup with the legs and everything. Everything you learn will feed into your style. And I think it's smart, if something interests you, to learn it deeply and learn how to incorporate it into your style so that it can make your style more unique and more you, and separate you from other people. So that's actually a really fun thing to try and do. I'm trying to do it all the time. BD Unico says, completed your watercolor course just now. Cool. So just on time to join the stream. Let me know your thoughts, and if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer. And thank you so much for taking a part in it. John says, hi, Liron. I hope you're well, my friend. Thank you so much, John. I wanted to say, everyone, just after the last couple of weeks where the live streams have been so intense, like the interviews, and a lot of paintings per live stream, like the clouds, I just really needed something that is more low-key to vent a bit, talk about nonsense, talk about whatever we want to talk about. I actually have two drinks here. I have the regular ACV. So that'll be mainly water, a bit of apple cider vinegar, lemon, and what do you call, like, the grated ginger root. So that's what we got here. And here we have the healthier drink, which is iced tea. No sugar, by the way. It's just monk fruit, which is like a sugar alternative. And here we have Ruth. So yeah, after all these streams, it felt like I need something that's more relaxed. The interviews are intense. I mean, I'm really enjoying them, and I think they're great content. And by the way, this is a good time to kind of talk about it, because I do have a few upcoming ones. But if you have anything you want to share in that regard of what do you feel about the interviews and how you like them, that'll be interesting for me, just as feedback, So yeah, definitely can do that. Really enjoying them. Great artists too. And hi from Germany, by the way. Thank you for being here, BDU Nico. Francis Lee, how are you, my friend? Hope everything is going well. You should check out his art for sure. It's so good. So good. Your reflections in the water, especially, they're just the ones that go vertically. That's really fun. Lara says, hi from Macedonia. And I know some people say Macedonia, so I'll say Macedonia at risk of sounding like a fool. Deep Krishan, hello, Liron. Love your artwork so much. Thank you so much. Karthik TE says, hi. Clifford Stephens, I love what you're doing. Thank you so much. I feel like I'm in such a good spot, and I have to tell you thank you and everyone because I'm super grateful. I'm doing something that I enjoy. Like, I'm not forcing myself to do anything now. The more time goes by, I realize that I want to find that balance where and it's a great thing for artists to think about, of actually doing what you want and what you enjoy and building around that, because I do believe that you can build around almost anything. As long as you learn how to be good enough at it, you really can make your own path and make money as an artist from something that is truly yours. And I think it's really important. And I feel like everything I'm doing right now, I'm enjoying it. Like, making the videos is fun. Painting is fun. Drawing is fun. The manga I'm starting to work with, I'm so excited about that. So I have you to thank for. So thank you so much. Aaron says, oh, that's right. Forget about the character comic you've been working on. Been a long week. Yeah. There's more. I can show you more. I'm actually struggling with. There's a character called Lara that I struggle with the design quite a bit. Because I have a few. I have a few designs that I kind of like, but it's really hard to get the one I want. Sometimes it just doesn't feel right. So yeah, I did this, which was fun. It's not like nothing spectacular, but it was just a fun little sketch I did. Based it on a reference photo, but I just changed her face. But that's not the exact design I was hoping for. If I had to choose one that actually looks like it, I would say it'll be one of the first ones I did, actually. So I think either this kind of a thing or that kind of a thing here is the closest. I did do another one that was kind of, it just takes so long. It's crazy. So I did one with a hairstyle that I'm going to regret for sure. So if you see this is going to be a nightmare to draw. And then I started practicing braids, because it doesn't matter how experienced you are, really. If you're going to, that's annoying. Let's get rid of this. It doesn't matter how experienced you are. If you're going to draw something you're unfamiliar with, it's going to be a struggle. So that's that, like the braids here. I actually have an upper camera. I don't want to connect it. It's just a bit of a nightmare with StreamYard. But yeah, so I'm going to regret doing this kind of a haircut for sure, because it's going to be a nightmare. So maybe it'll be like a rare kind of hairstyle for her to wear. Usually it'll be something more informal. Maybe that'll be like the formal thing. I don't know. We'll see. Because says, which kind of brush is better for watercolor? You have to try out a few and find what works best for you. I find that I don't like softer, like really soft bristles. It's hard for me to control. So a good example of that would be the Winsor Newton series. I forgot their name, but I actually have one here somewhere. I'm looking at it. I'll get it. 1 second. It's here. It's right here. So this kind of a thing, which is a good one. I mean, the Petit Gris Pur. I don't even know how to pronounce that. And I haven't used it for a while. Like it's like a rock. I don't like this one as much. I enjoyed it for a few paintings, but honestly, I didn't enjoy it as much because it was too soft, and I felt like the brush kind of just smears around the paper, and I can't control it really. I don't enjoy it as much because I want to control the entirety of the bristles, and with that it was really hard. I actually did a Santa Claus painting with it, which turned out really well, but still not my favorite. So let's see here. So yeah, just in short, you need to experiment, try it out, and see what you enjoy the most. Maybe you like the softer bristles. Maybe you like the synthetic ones. You prefer them. Whatever it is you prefer. I'm gonna try sitting up straight. We'll see how that works out. Dragonfly Art Cafe says, "Hi, Liron, how are you? I'm doing well. I'm doing well. It's been a busy week, a really busy week actually. As always, trying to optimize, find my balance, the things that I enjoy doing, and the work-life kind of thing. It's always a matter of optimizing. Other than that, I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Moneybee, it is an island with causeways. So causeways is like because I saw it's like not a peninsula, but it is connected to land. Let's see what causeways is. Meaning raised road or trek across a low or wet ground. Oh, cool. That's cool. That's really cool. Rudra, hi, I love your work so much. Very motivating. Thank you so much. Thank you. I actually painted a Pokemon today. I'll show you in a moment. Chris says, I started off, wait, chat jumped on me. I started off painting in oils, but the drying time and the smell stopped me, so I went into watercolor, never going back to oils. Yeah. I haven't painted in oils ever. Maybe once I tried. But yeah, I totally get it. And Rudra says, it's night here in India. Love your work a lot. Thank you so much. What time is it, by the way, at night? Let me know. Helmet, why you don't travel and make vlogs and to live watercolor on? I would actually love to do something like that. But it's one of those things that I say would have been cool to do. You know, it's just not my probably natural inclination. So I never really got onto doing the more travel blog plus plein airing. It's just not really my character. So I don't know, maybe I'll feel like doing it in the future, but at least around the city, I should do more of that for sure. Paula Campbell, how do you access the watercolor class that was mentioned? I can drop a link. Let's see here. It is simply a course that I have, and you just purchase it and you join. And by the way, if you haven't checked out my How to Simplify course, you definitely want to check that out. So you can actually get the course in question here. I'm going to paste it. But yeah, there's also the How to Simplify in Watercolor video series, which is a full course, probably longer than a frustration-free watercolor course, which is the one I linked. But it's about letting go with watercolor, really enjoying the process, not being too tight on the small details, focusing on the overall bigger picture, and getting the results you want. I do cover a lot of techniques there. Rudra says, hi from India. I got you. Francis, if the interviewed artist can do simple demo, it will be great. Yeah, I'm not sure if I want to do that. I mean, it will be great, of course, for us. I was asked by Angela Fair to do an interview and a demo. Now, I know I actually need to check if I can share it on this channel, because I told her that, because it's exclusive for her channel members. But I told her, like, is it okay if after a while I'll show a snippet of the process or like a time lapse? And she said it's cool. So to me, it was very strange, honestly, to be asked to give an interview plus a demo. I'm good with it. I was like, perfect, a chance to show my painting technique. But I think for some, if you paint very large or if you have a certain setup, I think it's asking a bit too much from many artists. And it's something that should be done separately. Now, it would have been a completely different case if I could just travel, meet the artists, kind of like the Color in Your Life series, the Australian painting series. That would have been different, face-to-face, more of a serious production kind of thing. But if it's just that kind of an interview conversation, yeah, I mean, it would be great. Maybe if an artist if someone offers it, for sure, I'll be like, yeah, that's cool. Maybe I should ask, like, do you want to do a demo, or maybe even something really quick? But unless it's very someone I have a maybe strong connection with personally, I feel like it's a little too much to ask. So I don't want to do that. Now I am thinking about how I can set it up. Let me see if I can do this so that the computer is a little less shaky. Even if I move the table, 1 second. Good, I think that's gonna be a little better. So yeah, great idea, Francis. Maybe in the future, I will have it in mind for sure. Tom Dancer, I emailed Paul Talbot Greaves as his IG link on his site was wrong. I mentioned I really enjoyed the interview, and he said, thanks. Oh, that's cool, that's cool. It was so fun, you know. I was really surprised by the interview. You never know what to expect. And especially with someone who doesn't give too many interviews. I don't think necessarily he doesn't like to be interviewed or does, but it just depends on how many people ask. With Andy Evenson, he has a lot of interviews out there, so I kind of knew what I was getting into. But with Paul Talbot Greaves, I wasn't sure. Honestly, I wasn't familiar with the communication style and all of that, so I was really pleasantly surprised. And a lot of fun nuggets that I think were really cool. Like the snippet I shared, I think is a perfect example. It's just fun. A lot of his personality quirks I really, really enjoyed. And the determination he had to just do this as a profession, not listening to anyone. That's super cool. I can totally relate to that. So yeah. Money B, will you be posting Watercolor 2021 prompts? Yeah, I have to apologize for that. This year I haven't planned anything. I was just super busy, not a priority for me. So, and I had this nagging feeling of I should do that. I did it last year, but then I asked myself, like, what's the authentic thing to do? And what felt like the right thing was to not force myself to give it. Well, what do I have here? Is it just a lighter hair? Yeah, lighter beard, mustache hair. I felt like the right thing was not to force myself to create a prompt. It was really too late. I mean, what is it today? The 30th. I can still do it, I guess. It's not that, like, it's not hard work. It's not something that is difficult to do. But I will consider it now that we talk about it. I don't know. Maybe I will do it. It's not hard work. It's just I was doing so many other things, and I was like, it's not as important. You know what? I'm going to write it down for myself. I'll do it. It's just coming up with a list of subjects. The thing is, I don't know if I want to commit to that. And if I give you the challenge and I don't do it, that's whack. So I don't know if I want to do that. I'll consider it, but probably not. Now that I think about it this way, I don't want to give you a challenge and then not do it myself. So yeah. But there are so many out there. We talked in the Discord, as many of you probably know, about doing a Birdtober or something like that. That could be fun and funny. Helmet Family, how can I show my watercolor work to you? If you go to my channel and you go to the About tab, you'll have a business email there. It's called a business email. And just send me an email with it. I'd be happy to see it. I can't guarantee that I'll reply and can't guarantee that I'll reply fast. I can actually guarantee that I won't reply fast. So I will apologize in advance, but I do get to them. So send it over and I'll do my best to give you some feedback. You can also send it over on Instagram, but there it's just so many messages, I can't be certain that I'll even see it. So yeah. Big Yoshi, I watched the painting clouds stream and tried to paint clouds today. Really helpful, thanks. Thank you so much. Yeah, that turned out really nicely. I wasn't planning on doing so many, and the idea to discuss was kind of spontaneous actually. But that was great. That was really a fun stream. I think I have them here somewhere. Let's see if I have a few cool paintings to show you, because I did bring out a bunch of, like, a pile of stuff here. Even some things that, like, I can show you a few stuff actually. Let's take a quick kind of, let me show you some paintings break. But don't worry, we'll go back to the comments. I'm gonna leave your Big Yoshi comment up so that I can remember where we were. But I did this wet and wet. Paper smells good. I did this wet and wet study after the one that I kind of botched live. I wanted to play around with the technique a little more. I'm actually quite happy with a lot of it, mainly this section. This is a bit weird, but also the rays turned out nicely. So I don't know, that's nice. Just a quick one. I just pulled out a few paintings, but here's the one from the one of the videos I did recently. Very fun one. Highly simplified, but I like that a lot. This one I think many of you have not seen. So this I painted here plein air in watercolor kind of meetup, plein air painting meetup. So that was fun. It's a place called Mitchama Tachana. It used to be an old, like, train station, I think. This one is from a scene from Georgia, Georgia. This is fun. I painted this one live in my flowers live. That was super rough. This transition here, that's magic. This is so nice. I actually want to go over the lower section here and paint it yellow. I don't know. I think it'll look good. I'm going to set this one aside and do that later. You saw this one, I believe, live. This one's from a recent video. This is my plein air water bucket, Magello water bucket. That was fun. That was a fun one to paint. And yeah, and this one from a live stream. Then we'll maybe go on to some more comments. So you've seen this stream too, hopefully. Not the live stream, sorry, video. From the latest video. I saw that a lot of people have enjoyed it. I really wanted to give you a subject that is like an easy or a quick win, because it's sometimes very frustrating if you don't know what to choose to paint and you keep choosing very tough subject matters with weird, strange light and shadow. It's just not as fun. So I wanted to share something that I feel like is, one, accessible, but also impressive. Like that, I love seeing all these details on the mountain. I think it looks really cool. And it has this sense of, wow, it's like a picturesque kind of a thing. So it's a very impressive scene, but without all the fluff, without the rainbows, which is impossible. Meg Fowles, highly run the interviews with watercolors are fantastic. Thank you so much. Christine Bourgeois, practicing gratitude and art, my favorite things. Yeah, definitely. Francis Lee, please interview Alvaro Joseph and Qiancheng Wei. Yeah, so Qiancheng Wei, I'm not even sure he speaks English, so that's going to be tough. I was kind of hoping to build my way up to Alvaro and Joseph. I definitely plan on doing that. It's just that I want to be prepared by that time and to go through quite a few of these. And I have a lot of artists that I really want to interview even before them. So it works out nicely. But yeah, that'll hopefully happen at some point. Honestly, I hope to interview even bigger people. I'm saying it with quote unquote, but people that are even more well-known in the art sphere, not necessarily just watercolor. This is all just a slippery slope to doing some more, I don't want to say general art, but things that are very important still. Chris says, next week, forcing myself to paint. Art is therapy. Mental health sucks. Yeah, I know. So I'm sure it'll work for you, Chris. And it's really important. I actually thought about it just now. So I've been watching a few videos, very interesting, by there's this fascinating person, Sadhguru. This brilliant man who talked a lot about, and I start to like this idea of everything that goes in our mind and emotions is within our control. It doesn't mean that it's easy to control, but basically that the outside world is something you have no control over, but the inside world is something that you do. So if you feel sad or depressed or joyful or angry or hurt, all of these things are self-generated. Even if and I'm not saying it's science at all, like I have no idea, but I love the approach from a very utilitarian perspective that these things are under our control. And you can add to the mix, there is of course chemical imbalances that I think are a thing, and a lot of things. I'm not saying that it's fully in our control, but a lot of it is. So I like the idea of having those things under control. So let me give you an example. The things that I recently enjoyed listening to is like how meditation, for example, there isn't one correct way of doing meditation. Meditation is actually about just being, listening to your thoughts, listening to your breath, feeling the air, whatever it is. That's all secondary. The main thing is being. It's not being stimulated by something or being active necessarily. It's more about being. If you can just be, which is something that is hard to do these days. So I love the idea that there are many ways of meditating, and there isn't just one correct way of meditation. So my meditation, for example, is actually painting and drawing. And it's fascinating because think about it this way. Whenever I start drawing or painting, my mind is emptied of worries, almost always. Unless I was previously worried by something and then I started painting, usually whenever I paint, I don't think about anything else. Why is that? That's really interesting. Why is that? I think it's because a lot of it is within our control. And if it is within my control to feel joyful and in the moment, like I am when painting, it's like my brain made a decision to do these things whenever I'm drawing or painting. So why can't I make that decision in other times too, when I'm worried about other things? Now that's a very low level thing. Of course, if you're talking about like real heavy mental issues, depression, and all of that, I talk to quite a lot of people who go through this, and it is a challenge. So I think art is kind of, like you say, Chris, this excuse to put yourself in that beautiful mental place of joy, or maybe just even being, not even happiness, not even just being in the moment and not thinking about all the worries and not thinking about all of the things that maybe give a lot of anxiety. I have anxiety around a lot of things, mainly logistical things, bureaucracies. I don't like that. I'm scared of it. I'm very worried about being in a situation where I'm in full lack of control, which is why I hate roller coasters, for example. So all of these things are, yes, some of it is a decision, and I love that idea. So just to tie it back to art, yes, it is. It is like therapy completely. Just being in that headspace, being in that creative mindset, which is why I think even beyond like striving to improve yourself and wanting to get better at art and whatever it is, there is a very therapeutic component to it for sure. That is really important. I'd like to, if me teaching a technique can make people do that and then feel that benefit, then super cool, like an added bonus, which is bigger than the actual thing. So yeah. Catherine M. Hello, Liron. I'm from France. During your demo, could you indicate the type of paper you're painting on? I mean, the quality. Yeah, I can. It's mostly the same. I either paint on Saunders Waterford or an Arches. It is always 300 grams until I say otherwise. 300 grams cold press. That's what I paint on always. But yeah, I'll try being more aware of the materials and sharing them with you. Yeah, because I don't even talk about paints that much, and Helmet Family, one career counseling class for fine art. We're so confused. Career canceling class? Let me know what you mean. So someone canceled a fine art class? I mean, maybe it's something that has to do with lockdowns and COVID and stuff. I'm not sure. Memerman says hello. Chris says Cockman. Was that in regards to what? I mean, is it paint or paper? Let me know. Memer says, will you be participating in Inktober? So yeah, back to these challenges. I will probably be dipping in and out. I just draw and paint so much every day now in these last couple of months that I feel like committing to the challenge will be may end up being a bit counterproductive for me even, but I'll probably dip in and out. I haven't even seen the prompts. Let's see. I have no idea what the prompts are. Inktober 2021 prompts. I have no idea what they are. Are they out yet? Let's see. Please. Okay, official 2021 prompts. Crystal, suit, vessel, knot, raven, spirit, fan, watch, pressure, pick, sour, struck, stuck, roof tick, helmet, compass, collide, moon, loop, sprout, fuzzy, open, leak, extinct, splat, connect, spark, crispy, patch, slither, risk. Cool. I don't know. Maybe I will. Maybe I'll dip in and out of the challenge probably, but I don't think I'll do that like every single day. But who knows? I may surprise myself. Catherine, perhaps it would be interesting to propose a little demo in good paper, 100% cotton, and parallel on 100% cellulose, because it's so disappointed. I'm so disappointed when we try to do the same. Oh, interesting. So, would you want me to try and do the same thing on different types of paper, or just once in a while demo cellulose paper? I can actually do that. I can just demo on cellulose paper. I have a simpler Cotman paper here that I can demo on, and that'll give you an idea of the things that maybe you struggle with that are actually rightfully you're struggling with. I'm going to write that down as a note. I'll just open up my notes app, and we'll do that. So it's actually a good idea. Paint on cellulose paper to demo the difference. Yeah, I can do that. It's so challenging, honestly. Like if you're struggling on cellulose paper, I don't blame you. I really don't. Okay, let's see here. Oh, a lot of chats. Deep Christian says, sir, painting without pencil sketches is good or bad habit for beginners? Again, it's just an idea. I mean, what is a good or a bad habit? I think a good habit is the one that brings you, helps you move forward. So if drawing without a pen, if painting without a pencil sketch helps you, then you do that. Don't take my word for it. That's something that you're gonna hear a lot of me in the next couple of months, because I'm really in that headspace at the moment. There really aren't any rules. what I would want you to do is try doing it and seeing how it works for you. I'll tell you a couple of things. I think that knowing how to do good pencil sketches is a must. Again, not in a way of like you can't paint without it. If you want to produce something that is that has a solid structure, for most people it is a must. Someone may want to paint without it at all. Now, don't forget, you can draw with watercolor. You can paint in the shapes with very soft colors, and you'll know where everything is. It's just not as efficient because you can erase with the pencil, you can make corrections, you can measure more easily. So it's not as efficient, but it is possible. Anything is possible. It really is. For most people, I think it's not really the most efficient and effective path at first. But if you feel comfortable with your drawing skills and you feel like you're doing a decent job and you want to try it out, you want to taste it, see what it feels like to paint without any pencil sketch on the paper, go for it. Sometimes it looks so good. I think Yongchen does it sometimes, just painting in the shapes very lightly and just kind of pushing it darker and darker and darker from that point. I love that process. I actually want to do more of that. So don't take any of my prescriptions for it. Go for the experimentation route. Try it out, see what works better for you personally, and stick to that, because it's not even going to stay the same for you. One time you'll enjoy it, another you'll feel like, I feel like drawing with a pencil, you know? So there isn't really, that's my cop-out answer. I don't have a clear-cut answer for that because there isn't one. You have to try it out. But I will say I love the idea of painting directly and seeing what happens. I love it. I think it's a good exercise, you know? Rudra, I want to become the best watercolorist, but don't want to practice much. Well, you're not gonna become the best then. You have to practice to become one. Well, let me backtrack. That depends on how you define the best. If the best is you create the best work that you enjoy, if the best work for you is the work you enjoy creating, you can become the best tomorrow. Just be engaged in the process. Again, don't take my word for it. Maybe you don't have to practice at all and you'll create the best work in your eyes, right? Now, if you will take a panel of judges and they'll have to rank what they like the most, and let's make this 1,000 people panel so that you don't get a skewed sample of just watercolors. Take any person randomly off the street. I do think that it will make a difference if you practice. So yeah, I'm trying to challenge my own beliefs. So maybe you're right, but I think that if you really want to bring the medium to its full potential the way you want to do it, you'll have to practice. Big Yoshi, can you do a video like explaining all the types of watercolor brushes and hair used? I don't know if you already have done a video on that. No, I haven't. It's a bit of a weird topic for me because I don't even know if I'm familiar with all the types of watercolor brushes. I'm not so good in these kinds of videos. You'll notice I'm not as good also in doing like hauls for tools or stuff like that. It's not a thing I enjoy the most. So I sadly, for some maybe, I don't do as much of these. So my apologies. But there's actually a lot of great channels that do that. So you don't have to have my content do that, luckily. So yeah, Dragonfly Art Cafe says it is 6:49 p.m. Cool, good to know. 6:50 p.m. in India. Meisuko says, hey, Liron. Hey, how are you? I hope you're doing well. Because says, how to manage proportions, perspective, and composition. So let's break this down. Composition, I think a lot of it is about studying others and experimentation. So first, look at paintings you love and try and understand what is it about their composition that you love. So for example, maybe you love this kind of a painting, or maybe, and bear with me here, maybe you'll see an artist who paints the entire sky and the mountain, instead of being in the middle, is right here, somewhere on this side of the painting, on the very right side. And everything here is empty. The mountain is smaller, okay? Maybe you see that painting and you're like, wow, that's beautiful. That's something I want to do. So what do? You ask yourself, what is that composition? And try and recreate it. Try and recreate the painting with the mountain. Maybe then try and recreate it with a different subject like this one. Move it to the side instead of the middle. And then you experiment. Then you start reading about rules of composition. You learn the rule of thirds, which is, it's much cooler if instead of taking the picture like this, I'm a bit here. See this thing here, this layout is here to the side. Things aren't perfectly in the middle, but they're also not like really to decide, because then it's a part of, it doesn't feel like a part of the painting, or maybe it's really too much in the peripheries. So the rule of thirds is very useful, and then you can play around with it a bit. So it's not really exactly a third, it's more to the right, more to the left, top to bottom. Always have that in mind. Diagonal lines versus vertical and horizontal lines. These are all things you want to think about, because composition is very basic. It's not about the details, it's about how the major shapes look like and interact with one another. So there isn't a strict answer for that. What I would suggest is actually studying from artists whose composition you enjoy, trying to figure out what you like about it and recreate it. I talked about placement, but there's also value. Where do you place darks, lights? How much of the entire thing is dark? How much of the entire thing is light? You know, some people maybe enjoy painting scenes with night scenes. Everything is dark and there are a few neon lights. Some people enjoy the daytime, like me. So most of it is light, and then there's a bit of dark on it, you know? So it really will vary. Find what you like compositionally and try and recreate that. And then study a bit, like search for YouTube videos on compositions. A lot of it is experimentation. You try the same scene in different ways of cropping it, and you find what you love. So that's composition. Perspective, it's just rules. You have to learn it. I would recommend going over Marshall Vandruff's perspective course. I'll write it down. Marshall. You just Google it and you'll find it. Vandruff perspective course. It's one of the best. He covers pretty much everything you need. I really enjoy it. Gotta blow my nose, sorry. It covers really everything you need. It's just rules. You need to learn them. You need to learn the words in order to speak the language. 1-point perspective, 2-point perspective, 3-point perspective. You want to learn about the horizon line. You want to learn about vanishing points. You want to talk about vanishing trace. Vanishing trace? Yeah. You want to learn about point of view. You want to learn about the viewer, and there is another terminology for it. You want to learn about angles. How do you portray a 90-degree angle in space? So that's something that you need to learn. It will depend on a lot of different things. So that's rules. Proportions. Measuring. That's the only way. So you take the pencil and you learn how to measure. You hold your hand out. There is a great video by Stan Prokopenko about measuring, and you want to always compare as many things as you can, like this distance from here to here. How long is it? If I take that and compare it to this, and then I find out that it's about my hairline to my maybe this part of the beard, and it's the same as this. So use cross-reference a lot of things. Another thing that helps is plumb line. So if I go like this, where does this edge of my head intersect with my shoulder? Find, for example, where does the horizontal line, if you draw a horizontal line from my nose, where does it hit the ear? So then you can double check yourself, you know? So I will say proportions is more about the technique and learning it. Perspective is some knowledge. You need to learn that. And composition, a lot of experimentation, observing other people's art. Hopefully that helps. I think that's going to be a good snippet for a IGTV video or something like that. Marjorie Johnson finally made it. Hasn't been a good morning, but hopefully watching this will help. I hope it encourages you. I hope there isn't, I don't know if it's grocery day today, but hopefully it's not too much of work for anyone. But yeah, Paula Campbell says, thank you. Happy I could help. Marjorie says, hopefully I will catch the vid with Angela. Yeah, I hope to upload it. Maybe a snippet. I'll open up the blinds now. Insane sunlight is gone. I hope I can upload it at some point here. At least a snippet of it could be nice. I need to write it down as a note because I will forget. And fair snippets. With snippets, she'll be fine. I just don't know if the whole thing she'll be okay with. And if not, that's cool. John says, really enjoying the artist interviews. I'm pleasantly surprised at the caliber of artists you've managed to get. Yeah, definitely. I just reached out to them. The way I actually got to them is, and this is true for also upcoming interviews, as you'll see, it's just people I follow on Instagram, and I love sharing in my own stories when I see a beautiful painting. And so I did that a lot. And at some point they replied, thanks. And at some point they followed back. And so then I started seeing some people liking my posts, my tweets, whatever it is. And I was like, oh, cool. So this person pays attention. So I just reached out. And that's how it happened, very organically. This is why I do the whole social media thing. This is why I like to put myself out there. It's connections. I'm very happy you enjoy the interviews. Paul O'Meara says, good morning. Richard Bennett, hello, everyone. The elbow code didn't doesn't show, but maybe I wonder what emoji that is. But thank you for being here, Richard. Because says, what about golden ratio? Yeah, everything, all of these rules, just learn them so you can break them. There are actually a lot of good videos on composition. John says, really like the stories you've posted you're working out. Yeah, so I'm training with my trainer. Her name is Lee, and she's really good. So we've been working a lot on my knees because I had this weakness in them. Yeah, I dislocated my right knee a few times in my life, twice actually. It's really functional now. It's been over a decade ago, maybe a decade and a half. But I did have like a bit of inflammation on the other knee. Maybe it was compensating for the right knee. And I've been doing physiotherapy for a year now, very dedicatedly, if that's a word. I've been really paying attention and doing it every single day because otherwise it felt really bad. It's actually, I think it has to do with the IT band. So probably a lot of people will know about it because it's a troublesome area of the body. So it's the outer knee. I had this inflammation there, and it just was ongoing. It didn't go away. So it's like, okay, I started doing some research, got to physiotherapy, and then I was like, oh, okay, so it's working a lot laterally. So this movement to the side with the IT band, by training the IT band, you actually prevent knee inflammation. It's pretty crazy. So we've been working a lot on that, on strengthening the knees, which is why I did the pistol squats, which I'm doing with rings, because otherwise I just can't do it. But I've been making nice progress, and she's really great. So yeah, it's been fun. And I don't know, it's nice to show something a little different, I guess. Anita Daniel says, hi, Liron, what do you think of the opinion that artists don't need science and math? So I think this actually, it reminds me of that question about drawing without, or was it not drawing without it? What was the question? It's actually a good question. Not a painting without a pencil sketch, but there was something else. I think there was something else. Let's see here if I can find it. That's cool. Yeah, so again, it's one of those things. I don't think there is a right or wrong answer, Anita. I think it's about what helps you. So for example, if you find that learning different sciences and math helps you with water to paint ratio, with understanding the angles and the movement and the liquidity of the mixture, or even with understanding the subject matter, because I learn anatomy, so I can get better at drawing and painting people. If you learn science and math, or maybe science, you will, if you know machines, you'll be able to notice things about cars that I don't, or about tractors that I don't, so you'll paint them better. Same goes for science, maybe for math too, for composition. So I think if you're asking that question, maybe it's something that interests you, and maybe you're doing it. Let me know, I'm curious. So the opinion that artists don't need science and math, I think you don't have to use it. So that may be a correct opinion, but it could be useful. So if it is useful, maybe you do need it. So yeah, I hope that helps. Henny says, probably asked 100 times before, but what is your favorite watercolor sketchbook? It's going to be, well, at the end of the day, it's going to be a watercolor sketchbook that has good paper. And that is, I have Michael Soloviev's sketchbooks that have really good paper. This is, I think it's something like Arch. I actually did the Washtober challenge on this one. I actually just think it's an Arch rough paper. I know it's a bit hard to see, but this is 100% cotton, 300 grams watercolor paper. So I love the Canson Val for a cheaper cellulose or pulp option, but ultimately the Arch sketchbooks would be better. So yeah, the Arch sketchbooks would be better in terms of quality, or this one, because this one is fully, it's the same paper as Arch. I think it's very similar, if not the same. So that's what I would say. But yeah, there are some different solutions out there, like the Moleskine, like the what's it called, the Canson Val, that I like, but they're more for catching something fast. One wash, you can't do too much glazing, and so on. I hope that helps, Annie. Amy says, hi from South Carolina, USA. Liron, how do you store your artwork? I like to keep my practice pieces around to refer back to, but I just have stacks of curled up paintings. Is there a better way? So yeah, mine aren't curled up. I have this kind of a big folder case thing, and I just put them there. They don't really curl that badly. But yeah, I don't have like a big brain solution to storing them. It's a good question. I don't know. It's just, some people prefer drawers, but if you can have it in a way, like if it's really big, then yes, you may even roll it up. But for most of the paintings, it's just enough to get a file that's kind of sealed, that has this click-clack opening thing, and then you just put it there. That's what I find best. Protects it from dust, protects it from, stuff like that. If you have termites and things like that in your area, it's something to maybe watch out for. Now, if you have some very important paintings, I would maybe put them in a kind of a plastic bag, or a transparent one. But you need to make sure that it's acid free, because if it's with acid, it can ruin the painting. So yeah, the paint and the paper. So it needs to be acid free. Barb White, hi from beautiful Ohio. By the way, thank you for everyone for sharing your locations. I will say that I do plan on being in the US in 2022, May 2022. You hear it for the first time here. There is a convention, a VCon by Gary V. It is in Minneapolis. So I do consider maybe combining it and doing a workshop somewhere. So let me know if that's something you're up to. Maybe in that area, somewhere in that area. I saw that it's like a 2-hour drive to the east. You get to Wisconsin, and if you go to, it's close to a lot of places, so we can probably do that. It's close to Iowa. It's close to, the state. So yeah, if you're interested in something like that, let me know. It could be fun. I don't know. So yeah, it's going to be in Minneapolis, and I hope to visit my uncle, but I haven't talked to them at all in Ohio, so we'll see. But Minneapolis, May 2022, it's going to be around the 19th to 22nd. So if anyone's up for that, could be cool to do a meetup and a workshop. It's probably like to do a paid workshop. It could be fun, but I don't know. We'll see about that. It's one of those things that I haven't gotten to yet. But if I do decide to do that, I'll go all in on it, and I'll let you know more details. But let me know if that's something you're interested in, like a couple of days workshop, maybe 2 days, 3 days. SB says, greetings from Ottawa. Glad to run into you again. Thank you so much. So Ottawa, that's Canada, right? Or am I just being dumb? Yeah, Ottawa is the capital of Canada. So actually, it's funny because Minnesota is really close to Canada. So I could even go there in theory. David Olivares, I've seen too many framed watercolors and posters that are pink, purple, faded because of not framing with good ultraviolet glass. Don't at your artwork's peril. It's interesting, David. So I haven't, and I have seen some old watercolors. Now, from what I know, a UV glass isn't necessary unless the painting is going to spend a lot of time in direct sunlight. So if it's a wall that doesn't get direct sunlight, you're fine, even if it is sunny. I may be mistaken. And if you can take that extra measure, why not use UV glass? I used both in the past. And I think it's been a few years now, so you could say that both work well. Yeah, I'm all for, like, if you sell few paintings and it's the cost of the paintings to begin with is high, why not use the best glass you can find, for sure. Sharon Hauser says, hi from Silicon Valley. I like the tips with Tom. Thank you so much for being here, Sharon. Sajad Ali says, hello from Pakistan. Keep up the good work. Thank you so much. I'm very happy I can help in any way. Money B, thanks for addressing Inktober prompts, but I understand if you don't post prompts. I participated last year, sold many of them. I appreciate everything you post. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I remember. I think you talked to me about it, right? That's amazing. Way to go. I think we talked about it somewhere. I'm not sure. Or maybe it was someone else. But someone else told me that they sold paintings for sure, if it's not you. So that's cool. Tom, painting as I watch, covering large areas of deep dark, surprisingly hard. Oh, it's a nightmare. Yeah. You need to have a huge brush. Like the biggest one I have, I don't even know where it is, but it's somewhere around here. Huge brush, huge angle, maybe work in glazes. And man, when I painted this big piece on the rooftop and I nailed it was like full sheet and I nailed it to the wall. It was so hard, and I had it at a 90-degree angle like this, and all the paint dripped, and it was just super hard. Yeah, I saw a couple of artists that work very large. What they do is they take their watercolor paint tube. They take like a big kind of a bucket thing, or maybe a transparent one, and they put the paint straight out of the tube, like big amount of it, add the water and mix it up. So it's a huge pile of water, and that's pretty much the only way to work and have it still be a somewhat even wash. If you're trying to mix that, that's super hard. So yeah, I'll do that for sure the next time I paint something huge, which I don't know when that's going to be. Henny, have you considered binding your favorite paintings and selling it like a coffee table flip through? That's actually a cool idea. I haven't, but it's fun. I have a lot of sketchbooks. I don't mind maybe selling or even auctioning one of them at some point. Could be fun. Just because I have so many. In the past, I would say no, but now I would consider it. It's super cool. To know someone has this full sketchbook, that's pretty cool. Richard Bennett, Liron, what are your thoughts on one-to-one watercolor tuition over the internet? I feel like the best way to progress is private tuition, but I can't find anyone for real one-on-one tuition. Yeah, and you know what? Sometimes I'm asked about it if I do that. And I always just throw a bunch of suggestion at the people asking, because I feel like it's an okay solution. So for real-time teaching, I would just be super frustrated to not be next to the student and actually showing what to do, like pointing at stuff, maybe taking the brush, doing something myself. Online is so hard. And again, good is better than bad, and perfect, like good is better than nothing. It doesn't have to be perfect, right? The enemy of perfect is good enough or great. So if it works well for you, I think that could work. Where I would find it more beneficial is if you have someone who's really engaged with you. What could be very useful is more in the realm of coaching, but not like coaching, mentally, but coaching in terms of so if there's someone you talk to on a regular basis, where's your message? There we go. So I just want to check something. Yeah. So if there's someone you talk to on a regular basis and they help you, let me get this a bit closer. Here we go. So someone you talk to on a regular basis, and you show them your paintings, maybe you even send them a scan ahead of time, and then they actually give you feedback on it and talk a lot about it and tell you exactly what you can improve. And maybe to take it a step further, they paint something quick that will show you how to improve it. That's something I'm for, because it's more talkative. But if you really want to bring technique into it, just changing the light a bit, if you really want to bring technique into it, that's tough. I don't know if it's the best solution. Ultimately, you will have to test it out and see what works best for you. And whenever I'm asked about it, again, I throw a couple of suggestions, like check these videos out. Maybe if someone sends me a painting, I go, do this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things before that, because I really want to. If I'm going to do it with someone, I need to know that we're really in the same kind of place and position, and that they're as invested as I am. I hope that makes sense. I don't like doing something that I feel like is not like the perfect value. And maybe it's too much of an extreme, because maybe someone would gain a lot out of it, and I'm just, disregarding it from the beginning. By the way, I see that I haven't connected my laptop to charging, so I'm just going to charge it fast before it shuts off. I have 26%. If this was me streaming with OBS, it would have been dead by now. So lucky for me. There we go. That's so funny. It's down to 26%, and it's a good thing I noticed. I'm like, where's the charger? It's not connected. So yeah, that's the risk you're running. But yeah, I hope that helps. It gives you some perspective. Whatever works for you, really. And maybe it's something I'll consider doing in the future. I don't know. Helmet Family East, Liron. So wait, now I lost the connection to what we were talking about. Sorry. I'm not sure. Sorry. Conversations. East, Wesley versus Pist. Oh, okay. You typed it. You should hit the enter button too soon. Thank you so much for saying that. Sadhguru, yeah, not Sadhguru. Well, I saw it spelled differently with a D and H, but yeah, it's such a good video. I like the interviewer too. I'm gonna send it here, the video. I like the interviewer, Tom Bellew, but the only problem I had with the interview was I felt like it didn't go deep enough. I felt like there were a lot of follow-up questions that could have been asked and weren't asked. So that's something I would have wanted to see more of. It's something that Tom's really good at, so I'm surprised that he didn't go in that direction, but I actually want to share the video with you. It's funny, like the line paint is a good thing. That's the thumbnail, but I think that's definitely not the biggest insight from that video, but here we go. So I hope that's let me check that it's the right. Yeah, okay. It's such a good video. Dragonfly Art Cafe. If you can find writing by Swami Vivekananda, you'll appreciate it. I'm gonna check it out. Swami Vivekananda. I know that Sadhguru also has a book. I should check that out too. What do I have on my leg? Oh, okay. It's nothing. Johan Rickard says, "Hey, Liron here from Sweden. Welcome aboard. It's fun to have people from all over. It's really cool. Got Europe, got the Americas, Asia, everything is here. Thank you so much. Everyone is really here. Dragonfly Art Cafe. I hate roller coasters too, and also alcohol. I like control of my body. Yeah, I get it. I like the more like I don't like the heavy alcohol. I don't like beer too. By the way, I hate beer. Beer, it's just not tasty for me. Acquired taste, I never acquired it. I like wine much better, and maybe like the bubbly, slightly sweet wine. Yeah, I'm weird like that. People make fun of it. But Campari is nice because it has this bit of sweetness. It's also very bitter, but it's more sweet, so I like that. But yeah, I totally get it. And I can spell alcohol apparently. Yeah, no worries. Money B, I'm an art instructor too. Taught art 40 years. That's cool. Including many lessons on left brain, right brain thinking, and seeing. It does relate to what you said about thinking and mental health. Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, it's all connected. There's 40 years. That's amazing. 4 decades. That's really nice. I'm actually curious to hear, like, do you feel like teaching for that long helped you to grow as an artist on your personal art, or maybe you weren't doing, but if you were, or did it hold you back at some point? Do you feel like you can focus just on you, or any other person can focus just on teaching, or you have to kind of take your own time to focus on your own creativity, be a bit selfish? I'm curious to hear what are your thoughts on that, Money? Chris says, God bless you, Liron, for advice. Cotman brushes from Winsor Newton. Oh, yeah, okay. Cotman brushes from Winsor Newton, good or bad? I'm actually not sure if I ever used them. Cotman brush. Winsor Newton, right? So let's see here. I don't remember if I ever used these. Oh, yeah, I haven't. I haven't used the Cotman brushes. Maybe I had one, but very old. I think I had one round, which I liked at the time, but then the more I painted, the more I understood it wasn't as good as other brands. So I'm really having a hard time with Winsor Newton, to be honest with you. I find that's just reality. I don't like a lot of their paints, and I don't like a lot of their brushes. So I don't know. What Winsor Newton product do I like? Not sure. I mean, there are, of course, a few, but I mean, I could do with their paints. Their paints are good quality, but I just don't like them as much. I don't know why. It's weird. Aaron Litton, look into Princeton Elite brushes as your next level up. They're a bit more stiff, but I like them for the right scenario, and they don't cost too much. Interesting. I did have a Princeton one when I got started. It was okay, but it wasn't the Elite line. I don't know what it was. It was something old. We always get old art supplies here that are no longer manufactured. Kimberly Hilton, hello, happy to catch you live this morning. Thank you for being here, Kimberly. That's your other account, right? You have also the different one, I believe. Marjorie Johnson would love to see you do same picture on both cheap and 100%. Oh, okay. I've done it. Was interesting. More work on cheap, more work till paper get a little fuzzy. Yeah, okay. I'll note it down. Painter's paper and cotton. We know what the difference is. By the way, check out Steve Mitchell. I have to share this with you. Mind of Watercolor paper. He has the best video on paper that I have seen. Let's see here, comparison. Because now I see that he has a few more. Watercolor comparing and choosing, cheap versus cotton. Is it the cheap versus cotton? Let me see, because that's a very useful video to show the differences. I'll do something like that too, but I really want to show you. Yeah, okay, good. That's the video. You want to check this video out for sure. Write down Mind of Watercolor paper comparison. It's really useful. I highly recommend it. I watched it and I was like, oh yeah, that makes a lot of sense. That's the same thing I've been dealing with. So yeah. Cotton is 100% cellulose. Okay, yeah, I'm not sure what the terminology is. So I know there's pulp, like paper pulp, which I'm not sure, but I just know that's of lesser quality. Kelly Ness says, hi, hello yourself. The sciences rule. Hi, Liron. I loved seeing your Pokemon card collection in one of your earlier streams. It would be awesome to see some of your other hobbies and interests too. Cool. What other hobbies and interests do I have? Now I'm thinking. Do I have something interesting to show here? Just kind of to pick it up and show it real fast. I do have a lot of manga here, which is nice, but nothing too interesting. Maybe I'll do like an off-topic stream. I have something cool. I'll show you. I'll show you for any anime lovers. Okay, I actually can't show it because it's gonna fall. So it's hanging by a thread, really. But I hope to show you in the future. I have a few small figurines of One Piece, of Sanji, of Katakuri, and of Sabo. So yeah, maybe I'll show it another time. When we can do like a completely off-topic one. And I also have a lot of new cards and new binders that I can share with you. So yeah, Kimberly, what is your favorite subject to paint? So I was tempted to say cars, which many people may think is it. Cars are my favorite subject in a way, but they're not necessarily the most fun to paint. They're very fun to paint, but they're not the most fun. I think actually the thing I enjoy painting most it always changes, but I really enjoy softer landscapes, plein air in particular, which I barely do, but whenever I do them, they're super fun. So something about that freedom to not be fully accurate, because you can shift the trees around and move things around. Something about that I really, really like, and I should probably do more of. Cars is definitely somewhere in the top. I do that a lot because I like them. But it would be either like landscapes, kind of relaxing landscapes, or cars. Yeah, I love cityscapes too. But cityscapes is a little different though. Yeah, I love everything. It's really hard to say, but I think cars and soft, relaxing landscapes, that'll be two of the main ones. So yeah, Marjorie Johnson. One of the reasons I started watching your videos was that you were not pushing product. I spent way too much money, played with so many brands, and frankly didn't learn a lot. Yeah, I could probably still use some of my older supplies and do well. It really isn't about supplies. And to be honest with you, I can get very bored really fast nerding out about supplies. It's just not that interesting to me, because it's just that. It's not art. It's just the supplies. It's something you learn what you like the most, and then you use that. But the end goal to me is always to produce art that I like and enjoy. So I think the whole like over obsessing about supplies is a waste of time, honestly. I think it's much better to spend that time painting. And you will feel like you'll know when you have to upgrade your supplies. You'll just know. Kelly Ness says, what do you do on this channel? Oh, so you just randomly found me on the YouTube front page, maybe? I do watercolor, drawing, painting, tutorials, lessons. We talk about art. We show artists that I like in the Painting Master series. We do a lot of stuff, but mainly around watercolor, drawing, and yeah, these kinds of things. So I hope you'll enjoy. If you are looking for more like tutorial-y videos, there's a lot of them. There are a lot of processes from longer to shorter, showing full scenes, full different subjects, cars, as I said, still life, landscapes, lots of cityscapes. So that kind of a thing. So I hope you'll find some cool stuff to watch here. Marjorie says, I did learn about products, but not enough learning about process. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, it's just about the balance. Johan Ricard, and hopefully it's not Johan, sorry if I'm mispronouncing. Can you do a video where you explain more about how to paint values? Yes, I actually have a lot of videos about values. So let me hit you with a follow up or follow up question. So can you be more specific in what you want to learn about how to paint values? Because I do have a lot about that. I'm working on the realism course that's going to be out hopefully in a few months, and that's going to focus heavy on values. But I would be curious to hear what in particular you want me to do, because I have a lot of them. If you just go to the channel and search for values, you will find a lot. Monica NJ, good morning, Liron and everyone. Thank you for being here, Monica. Of course I am. Hi, Liron. I hope you're well. Yes, I'm doing well. Thank you so much. Hey, Kelvin. Just got back from work. So what did I miss? Just chatting, just chilling, talking about art and life. I'm drinking my 1% alcohol Campari plus cold tea brew. But yeah, that's pretty much it. You can watch it later. I love shining Pokemon in general. I forgot the name of that Pokemon. I can't believe I forgot it. So there's Ralts. I can't believe it slipped. Ralts evolution. Gardevoir. Yeah, it's still the result haven't even popped up yet. Curlia is cool, but Gardevoir is really cool. I like shining Gardevoir. John. Liron, a friend said to me that they find an artist's signature a distraction and intrusion to the overall flow of composition. I'm curious as to what you think on this. It's interesting because I've been thinking about it a lot, actually. To me, not so much. I like to do cool stuff with the signature if I can. So, for example, here it's on the mountainside. So it's kind of with the gesture of the painting. But I'm personally able to separate the two. So what do I mean by that? Even if the autograph, the signature is big, I actually see it as like the artist saying, this is my painting. So I like that kind of a thing, to know that this is a whoever painting it is. So I don't usually find it distracting. Now, if the painting is tiny and the signature is huge, that's a different thing. I try to sign small, even on larger pieces, but I never had a problem with it. Even for smaller paintings, it never really distracts me. Most artists, I think, do it in a smart way that isn't too distracting. That's what I think. But, some people are kind of a Puritan in a way. They want just a clean painting, maybe a tiny signature. I think if you like signing small, then it's better, because, you want to see the painting in its entirety and definitely not have it obstruct a major part of it. But I don't see it as such a big deal to me, at least. But I get it. I mean, I can understand why some people don't like it. David says, on social media, do you follow people back? I'm asking because I just established a second Instagram page for my art, and I'm not sure how to deal with that. What do you mean by that? So I get the question, but I don't understand how that relates to your second Instagram page. I definitely follow people back. Just send me your account. I'll follow it. I try to follow either people I'm interested in continuing talking to, and maybe even seeing their progress, or people who I genuinely enjoy their art. Now, if there's someone who is super nice and asks me to follow, I'll follow, even if the art doesn't interest me as much. But most, like a vast majority of people I follow back, is because I enjoy looking at their art. If we're talking about artists, right? So I try to make it so that it's fun for me to go on Instagram, so I don't see a bunch of stuff I don't care about. I think it's really important for the continuity, because if I don't enjoy the platform as a user, it will show in my posts too, and it's a shame. I want people to enjoy the posts and have fun. But now, how do I get this thing not to be in the way? Maybe I'll just disconnect this camera. Hopefully it doesn't disconnect me. It shouldn't, but who knows? Let's move it like that. Bye-bye. And now I can be more in the light. So yeah, I personally follow people back if I enjoy looking at their posts. That's what I will say. Dragonfly Art Cafe. And how long have we been going? An hour and 15 minutes approximately. So yeah, we'll maybe in 15 minutes or 20 more minutes, we'll start wrapping it up. Dragonfly Art Cafe. On the same page with physiotherapy, I'm on bed rest since last month because of swelling and misalignment in my C2 to C5 vertebrae. In pain in my patella. Hope to recover soon. Yeah, I hope you recover soon. That must be rough. So C, is that a neck? I'm not sure. I think it is, right? C2 to 5, or maybe no, I'm confusing it with something else. C5. Okay, and now I have to look it up because I'm not sure. Oh yeah, I was right. It's the neck. Yeah, so I know my anatomy. Yeah, okay, that has to be rough. So I hope you're feeling well. Hopefully, I hope it's not too painful or anything like that. And get well soon, as soon as possible. Pain in the patella, that always sucks. Yeah, I have that from time to time. So if you get well soon, can you paint? Can you create? Hopefully you can. Samuso86 says, choose your favorite paper and make it your own. You can choose the size and save money. Yep, I agree. Sketchbooks, yeah, I get it. That would honestly be ideal. Mark Ohio, hi from Ohio too. Welcome aboard. Christine Bourgeois says, "Yay, Minneapolis! I will be there." Cool. So, are you from the area, or do you say you'll be there for an event or for me coming there? Let me know. Jody LP, hello from Lincoln, Illinois, U.S. Thank you for being here, Jody. That's really cool to know where you're from too. Let's see where Illinois is. I'm not sure Illinois. I'm slowly learning the geography of the U.S. Let's see. Illinois State map. Well, thank you. I want to see. Oh, okay. Oh, that's actually close. Yeah, okay. It almost has a border with Minnesota. That's fun. Diagonal to it. Calvin Zero, you don't need science and math to be an artist, but scientists and mathematicians often made good artists. Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah. Maybe that is true. John, sorry, the chat jumped. I'll get to you. Liron, I heard you mentioning in a podcast NFTs and connected to painting. Could you expand on this, please? Yeah. So NFTs, non-fungible tokens. Basically, like you have Bitcoin. One Bitcoin is the same as another Bitcoin. It's like you have a cent. 1 cent is equal to any other cent. Non-fungible tokens are tokens, whatever it is, that is non-fungible. So there's one of. So if I take this painting and I scan it onto my computer and I upload a JPEG picture, it's just a JPEG picture, right? But if I go through a process that is called minting, I can turn this into a one-of-a-kind NFT. So it's basically a digital version of a one-of-a-kind painting. Now, some people think it's silly, and I get that, because it's like, it's just a JPEG. It's just a picture, but it's actually more than that. It's about ownership and provenance. So, for example, a lot of artwork is worth a lot of money because someone important owned it. So if you can prove that you own the one-of-a-kind digital form of that piece of art, it could be even just digital art, it doesn't have to have a physical counterpart. It could be digital art, which it mostly is. Then it's worth something. So I am going into this world for a variety of reasons. NFTs and cryptocurrency are criticized for being very environmentally non-friendly environmentally. That is true to some extent, but I actually looked into this, and the future is bright. I think it's going in the right direction, and it's going to be more and more green with time. And I'm going in that direction because there are a few interesting consequences to NFTs. It's basically like, the way I see it, it's a bit hard for me to explain because I don't understand it perfectly, but think about it this way. Only 20 years ago or so, or not 20, maybe 15 years ago, social media started. And it basically democratized communication. Because in order to have a voice, you had to know the right people, know the right TV network or something like that, radio station. And then it went through this democratization of media, because now everyone has a voice. Now your voice doesn't mean anyone will hear it, but in theory, if it's a meritocracy, if you're good enough and the content you make is good enough, you will find your audience. My whole business is built on making content. That's how I got to meet a lot of people. That's how I get people to buy the courses. That's everything. So essentially, social media democratized, and the internet democratized communication. What NFTs do and cryptocurrency is democratize currency. And it's a very weird thing to think about. It sounds very futuristic, but I don't think it's too far away. I think it's a matter of less than a decade. So what does that mean? It means that I, Liron, can basically create a coin, Liron coin, and do a, what do you call it? Like to go public with it, and to do a sale of a coin, and to give anyone who signs up for something a certain amount of this coin. Now, what this does is it means that this coin will give you perks, whatever they are. Like, it means that maybe you get once a week, we do a phone call and I help you with whatever art issues you have. Or it could mean that you get 50% discount on any future product I create. Whatever it is, a course, private lessons, online lessons, whatever it is, 50% off for anyone who is using this coin. So all the people in my community have an interest to get this coin to be worth something. So let's say when I initially sold it to you, I charged you $1 per one coin, right? So you bought 100 of these coins, you paid $100 for them. You got 100 Liron coins, right? If I do a good job as a creator, as an artist, as a teacher, the value of these coins goes up because more people want to get these coins, but there's a finite amount. So more people want these coins and want to be a part of the community. So you bought 100 coins for $100, but now each coin is worth in itself $5. So you can sell half of what you own for a 5 times the profit, right? Or you can decide that you're all in on my content and you want the perks of using these coins. So essentially what this does is it gives an incentive to you, to my community, to want the coin's value to go up. Now, I know it sounds very in the air, but think about it this way. I like to be practical. I don't like things that are too woo-woo. If I could give you a way to buy all of my future products for 50% off, will you take that if it's not too expensive? Probably you will. It's like people do a subscription to a website and then they get all the content for free. Just saying. If I can give you a way to own an asset that's going to be worth a lot more in the future, because I promise you that for the next couple of decades, I'm going to do a good job as an artist, I'll become more famous, more people will want to get in on it, then our interests are aligned. So you see what happened here? Instead of using dollars or even Bitcoin for that matter, creating NFTs or even just crypto in general, it is kind of a democratization of currency. So what you will find, I think, in the future is instead of just followers, you'll have communities around different interests. And so, for example, if you like I'm thinking about like Tony Robbins, who's a great personal coach, financial coach, whatever it is, he'll have a community around him of people that hold his coin or his NFT or whatever it is. And to be a part of this community, you'll have to own this kind of NFT, but there's only 200 of these. So you'll have to buy from someone who sells, right? And the more people want to get in, the higher the price goes. So a person who took a bet on Tony Robbins and bought that thing, now it's worth much more, and he gets to get value from that community, right? It's turned into a huge rant, but I hope it makes sense. So basically what this does, it allows us to create a better relationship as you can either look at it as a business or even just as friends or even as a community. It just provides us a way to create an ecosystem, a financial ecosystem around interests. So for me as a creator, it gives me the ability to have a better relationship with my audience. And for you as a consumer, it allows you to be a part of communities based on your interests and make money along the way and maybe invest in an asset that will appreciate. So that's, I think, the bottom line. I'm going to give you another example of how NFTs help artists. When you create an NFT, you can create like what's called a smart contract. That basically means that because it's digital, you can monitor the purchases and you can decide that automatically whenever someone sells your painting, your one-of-one version of your painting, you also, as the artist, make revenue. So what would happen in the past? An artist would create a painting, the gallery would purchase this painting from the artist, or an art collector or whatever our art curator will buy it, let's say for $500, for $1,000, for $2,000. The artist goes, whoa, that's crazy, I sold a painting for $2,000. Then 2 weeks later, 2 months later, 2 years later, that art curator or that gallery sells it for $200,000. How much money from that does the artist see? Zero. You do get fame, maybe you get famous, but you did not make any money on secondary market sales. What this allows you, because it's digital, is to put a part in the contract that says every time this painting sells, the original artist makes 2%. So if you buy a painting from me, and then after 2 years, the painting appreciated in value, and you're like, okay, I'm cool, I'm good, I'm going to sell it because I have another painting of me, or maybe something else. You sell it for profit, and I also make a percentage of this sale. You see? So it helps artists in a way. There's a lot of dark side to it. There's a lot of criticism towards NFTs and cryptocurrency, but it's like you can't put the cat back in the bag anymore. It's out there. It's something people use on a daily basis, and I think the right thing, in my opinion, is to make it work instead of ban it. For example, like China banned cryptocurrency. I think the best way to do is to learn how to make it green, how to make it environmentally friendly, because in theory, more digital stuff means less paper and trees cut down. You can find a positive in this too. So yeah, that's my long rant about NFTs and how I'm thinking about it. I'm currently at a point where I did create one NFT for one of my artworks that is up for sale. I didn't market it anywhere, pretty much just on Twitter, because I want to see what will happen. I don't want to push it to you. It's up there. People can buy it. But the way I currently treat this space is learning. I'm trying to learn. I'm a part of a lot of communities where I learn a lot. I read a lot. I engage a lot. I try to understand it better. That's where I'm at the moment. So I don't feel confident to do like a big project in that space at all. It's something for the future. It's something that is very hard to do right now because there isn't Instagram or Facebook. There isn't a social media platform. And something needs to be built on top of which artists can do it more easily. That's what I think. So it's really the beginning. It's like the internet before it was easy to build a website. That's the way I see it. So yeah, let's go over some comments fast because I want to make sure I get to most of the comments. I won't get to all probably, but I will try. Swarnadeep says, hi from India. Hey, my friend. Thank you for being here. Jody, Minnesota can be freezing cold at night. It may take a coat. Yeah, I saw it super north. I didn't know that. I checked it on the map and I'm like, that's Canada. It's terrible. So I'll get ready. Swarnadeep, which artists do you follow while progressing? Me personally, I follow a lot of artists. You can go to my Instagram and see who I follow. There isn't just one or two, but when I got started, I followed a lot of Zbukvich and Alvaro Castanet, but I do think it's healthy to take a lot of time to not follow and to just do your thing. Learn things, figure them out on your own so that you can later gain some inspiration from other artists. But I think follow whoever you like, whoever's art you like. That's what I would say. And Elie Fort. Hi, Liron, how are you? I'm sort of thinking of pre-wetting the paper days before painting on it. What are your thoughts? Oh, I have no idea. Maybe try it out and let me know what happens, because I never tried that kind of a thing. Pre-wetting the paper days before painting on it. I have no idea what it will do. Like it's supposed to stretch and then contract again, like stretching the paper, but I don't know what it means. But maybe give it a try and tell us. I'm curious to hear. Marjorie Princeton better than Command or Common brushes? I'm not sure. Tom Dancer. I hope Common brushes are good because I just saw some today, and bearing in mind they are the budget line, they're surprisingly expensive. Really? Are they? Well, I hope they're good too then. Jody, Princeton brushes, I'm always happy with. Rosemary & Co. are wonderful. Yeah, I keep hearing good things about Rosemary & Co. I don't even, well, maybe I have one. I think I should have one here. I'll check it out. I'm not sure if, John, if you sent me one or not, but I think someone was planning on sending me one. But yeah, I don't think you sent me one. I'm not sure. And Elliot Ford says, I mainly use Arch as it works better for me. As I try these many ideas, it's expensive. What's your view on that? these many ideas. It's expensive. What, to experiment with a lot of art supplies is expensive. For paper, I know some stores provide testers, and then you can try a lot of types for basically almost free. So I don't know, but I love Arch. So far, I had good experiences with it. I know some don't. Daiji Shinomori only got on a few minutes ago. Glad that I still caught the stream. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for being here. So you sent this like 30 minutes. I'm 30 minutes behind on your comment. Sorry about that. Let's go fast. Jody LP. Dennis Sutton of In Liquid Watercolor did a great paper comparison on YouTube. Cool. I haven't watched this one, I think, but I love her videos. So yeah. Steve Hanley, can you discuss perspective in clouds when doing landscapes? Yeah, okay. I remember you asked that, I believe, in the previous live stream too. Yeah, I'm going to write it down as a topic. Perspective in clouds, and let's say in landscapes, because it does play a role. And I did link to a live stream I did on the topic that I think people checked out. Scars, how are you? Hi, Liron, good to see you. May not be seeing you many more times. Tuesday, oh man. Tuesday I was diagnosed with cancer. I'm so sorry to hear. That's terrible. If you want to share more of like the stage, how bad it is, or hopefully how not too bad it is, let me know. If you want to send it privately, just send it privately. But I'll pray for your health, and hopefully it's something you can get over. I know a few stories of people who got over bad diagnosis too. So I'll definitely be thinking about you. Let me know. Either here or hit me up with a message. I'll be happy to hear more and give any support I can. Calvin, obsessing over supplies also kind of waste of money. Yeah, definitely. Thank you, Monica. That's very kind. Kimberly Hilton, I love painting landscapes too. Painting sunsets on location is my favorite thing to paint. Sunsets, wow, that's rough. That's a tough subject. Sunsets are, anything that's a subject like that is really tough, because it's just the beauty of nature. It's hard to replicate, you know. Marjorie, autocorrect got me again. Princeton Elite brush is better than cotton, hands down. Okay, good. That's good to know. Jody, question: would you consider painting some classic cars from the 40s, 70s? Yeah, for sure. If I like the picture, I'll paint it. I don't mind. If you have anything for me, send it over. Maybe I'll use it. Money B, teaching. Oops, chat jumped. Oh, Jody, thank you so much for the super chat. I'll get to that in just a second. Moni B, teaching means you must understand concepts such as composition. Teaching 40 years has compelled me to learn and apply. It has helped me tremendously in my own artwork. I'm still learning what you. Thank you so much. Cool. That's cool. That's cool to learn. And Jody says, if the signature is distracting, then the painting is probably bad. That's a good point. That's actually a good point, you know? Huh. Yeah, I'll let that sink in. Nancy Shelburne, some of my transparent colors seem to separate, like flecks in them. That could be what they intended, because some of them do separate. What colors in particular? I like it, actually. Christine Bourgeois, I live in Minneapolis. When will you be there? So yeah, I said the approximately 19th till 22nd of May 2022. So we'll definitely be in touch if that's the case. I'll post it on the Discord, and I'll post it here as well, and we'll try and see what we can do with it. Nancy says, I also wonder how to switch between colors as I paint without rinsing so much paint off into a rinse jar. It seems to waste a lot. Yeah. So if you don't want to waste as much, I would just not rinse and just add to that mix you have. If you start to run out of it, add the color you want to switch to more and more and more until it dominates the mixture. You can't really get away with like not rinsing at all. It's tough. It's something I have thought of in the past, but I'd much rather, waste a bit more materials and paint as just like I want to. I'll have to think about that. Yeah. Paula Campbell says yes, neck, yes. See cervical, yeah, cervical. And then there's the thoracic, and then there's the lumbar, if I'm not mistaken. Am I missing something? No, I think that's the main sections. So yeah. Kelvin, cryptocurrency is rather expensive to get into since everything requires a fee. Minting your NFT token requires a fee. Posting your NFT to market, yeah, that is true. That is true. Yeah. Stuff like Solana, make it much cheaper, but yeah, that's definitely a consideration. Jody LP, buy yourself a nut beer. Thank you so much for the super chat. I really appreciate that. It's the kindest thing ever. I don't usually ask for donations. Like my Patreon is kind of, it's there because people ask me about it. But I don't try to push that too much. So whenever it does happen, I'm super grateful for it. And that kind of a thing, this kind of a thing is super chat, someone buying a course, someone liking a video. These all are things that pay the bills because it just is. That's what I do. And thank you so much for enabling me to do that, enabling and allowing me to do that. And if you look at Ruth over there, what money do you think buys her dog food? And it's good dog food. She eats Pro Pack, Marine, or is it Lagoon? I'm not sure. It's the salmon and something low grain. So what do you think buys that? That's money that I make for the business. So thank you so much for that. I really appreciate it. Kelvin adds, so thank you so much, Jody. Kelvin adds, plus nobody could stop people from making a copy of your NFT since it's digital art. You may have a unique NFT, but the art tied to it can be copied by anyone. So you are correct, but it's very easy because it's on the blockchain to prove that what the original is. It's very easy. You just look at the first one minted. Now, someone can steal your artwork and mint it. That's a different story. And then they are the first. But that's from the dawn of time. It's a problem. I think solutions will be found, but it is a problem. So scars, I had to have C1 to C4 fused to keep from being paralyzed. Helped the pain tremendously too. Wow, I didn't know that they can do that. To fuse the vertebrae? Wow. Helped the pain tremendously too. Yeah, well, pain is tough. So anything that is less pain is good, I think. So yeah, and again, if I'm re-extending that, feel free to drop me a message and we can talk privately. The sciences rule. Your NFT explanation was fascinating. You're very well spoken. Thank you so much. Yeah, as I learn more, I'll get more into the space and share more. There is a lot of profit to be made. So here's my take on cryptocurrency. I got into it in 2017. I didn't buy a lot. I bought some, and I couldn't be happier that I did that because most things appreciated. I bought Ethereum. I bought Bitcoin. I wish I'd bought more Bitcoin because that really went up. It was back then. It was about $5,000. Then it jumped to all the way to 19,000, which was insane. But now it's like, I don't know, 50, 40K, something like that. I will say this. I think it's an equalizer. I think cryptocurrency, the entire space, is something that many things will be built on. And I think Ethereum in particular is an equalizer. It's an opportunity for anyone who is having it hard financially. And I know it may sound crazy to some people, and I get it. I understand if you think that. But because you can buy fractions, you don't have to buy one Ethereum, which is $3,000. You can just buy 0 point something Ethereum. I think it's an opportunity for many to get out of a tough financial situation over the long run. So just have that in mind. The one thing I tell my friends too is just study it. Educate yourself. If you hate it, you hate it. If you don't like it, if you think it's bad for the environment and you don't want to do it, whatever looks right for you, seems right for you, do you. But at least put in the time to learn about something which many, not just me, think is the biggest opportunity of this next few decades. So yeah. Very happy the explanation was interesting. John says, thank you for explaining NFTs. I'm ready to get sold your own guns. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Now, you know what? So here's, I'm going to give you some background. Like Gary Vee, who's an entrepreneur I really appreciate and admire. He did an NFT, which is really cool. His NFT is essentially access to his convention. So he does this thing called VCon. That's the thing I'm going to in 2022. That's why I'm going to be in Minnesota. Probably. I'm still not sure 100% I'll go, but it's very likely. He does something smart. He's like, this is not just a piece of art that's digital. This gives you access to my convention for 3 years, in which I'll bring the best speakers, the best people because he knows everyone. He's friends with everyone. He's friends with The Rock. So he's friends with everyone. He's friends with Jessica Alba. He's friends with Tony Robbins, Tim Ferriss. So it's going to be an insane lineup of speakers there. So I've been toying around with the idea of doing something like that. But here's the thing. Here's my problem. It's kind of like telling you now that I'll be worth a lot in the future. So maybe just I'll wait. And when I'm worth this much, I'll charge this much. I don't like the idea of doing it. And I don't know much about the a lot of aspects of this space. So what Gary Vee did was study the space for 6 months, maybe a year, getting to know the people who know a lot about it, and then he did his project. And I'm very happy about his NFTs because they are now worth more than 10 times what they were worth when he first created them. So that's a nice ROI, and I'm not selling. So yeah, thank you so much, John. I really appreciate that. We'll see what we'll do with it in the future. It's something that's going to happen. The question is in what form and how exactly. The idea is always I try to go back to the fundamentals. The fundamentals here is how can I provide more value. If I can provide more value using it, I will. And if I can't, I won't. Frickin' Moron says hello there. Welcome aboard. I think I remember your username for a different live stream, right? You were here before, I think. Amro Art Studio, I love your work. Thank you so much. Thank you. That's really kind. Simone Merli, Hi Liron, Borciani and Bonacci new Unico is really good. I don't know what that is. Let me check it out. Oh, okay, it's brushes. Cool. I'll look into those. I've never heard of them. So are these? Is it an actual brand of brushes? That's really cool. Definitely look into those. They look super high class brushes. That's interesting. Never heard of these. I'll check it out. The Unico, you say. Marina Borrell, what is your practice paper? I use Arch for my practice. I bought a 10-yard roll, and I'm good with that. I paint small so I don't waste a lot, and it lasts for a long time. But if you're looking for cheaper alternatives, yeah, I get it. There isn't really one that stands out. Just Fabriano maybe, but I don't like it as much. But yeah, it is professional grade and a little cheaper, so maybe use that. A Praveen, his consistency is so good. I saw his video in live before 2 years. Still, he doesn't have that many followers, but still, he loves his work. So I'm not sure who you're talking about. If that's me, that's funny, but I don't know. Let me know. I'm curious to hear who you're talking about. I love that. I love consistent creators. So it's video in live for 2 years. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm curious to hear who it is. But yeah, I really, it's funny because here's the thing. I watched some old Gary Vee videos where people ask him about content creation, stuff like that, and they say, I can't make it. I don't get followers. I posted a few videos. I don't get any followers. Then I go to their channel, and the video is like 2 or 3 years old, and they just stopped making videos at some point. So if you stop, you're not going to make it. And you could say that my channel is very slow growing. I don't care. I'm doing what I can. I mean, I'm posting tons. I'm trying to be as consistent as I can. And as long as you keep going and you're self-aware enough to know that the value you provide is good, you will get more followers. So that's the bottom line. Most of the people who failed YouTube just stopped making content at some point. If you never stop, you can't really fail. It's a fun way of looking at it, but I think it's true. Marjorie, Isabel favorite, the Rosemary and Co. Da Vinci, then Princeton. That's my brush lineup. All decent brands for sure. Yes, Scars, email me. I'll check it out. And my prayers, Scars. Thank you so much. People are very kind. Nancy Shelburne, they say they are non-granulating. That's weird. If they separate and they're non-granulating, I wonder. Send me a picture. I'm curious to see it. Daniel Smith, Quinacridone Coral, and Seb Green by Coral. So let's see. Daniel Smith, Quinacridone Coral. I'm curious. It sounds like a really beautiful color. Yeah, it is. And it's granular and it separates. I wonder what the separation will look like. Send it over. Heather Rose, when I am using. Sorry, the context is lost on me on it. Jody, Liron, Minneapolis. Steve Mitchell of Mind of Watercolor lives near Minneapolis. Oh, that's good. I didn't know that. I'll note it down. this. Could be cool to do an artist meetup, but who knows? We'll see. My main goal there is the VCon, so we'll see about that. Banani, hi from Belgium. How are you? You seem relaxed, which is nice to listen. It relaxes me too. Happy to hear. Do you know Young Chen? Yeah, I mentioned him earlier. Watercolor YouTube. If yes, what do you think about his approach? So I'm not sure what you mean by approach. If you mean his artistic approach, he's brilliant. He's really good. He's very effective and very efficient in what he does. He puts the right thing immediately, gets the right value, gets the right temperature, everything. His work is, most of it, some of it is a bit maybe overworked, but most of it is, I'm amazed by the process. And I think he's one of the best teachers. In terms of like producing videos, I really think he's one of the best teachers in there. Now, some of his like business approach, I'm not sure what I think about, because he's very pushy on the, I think there's like a membership website or something like that, but he gives great value for free. So can't judge him too much. I love his videos. I've been following him for a while. There's a reason why his channel grows so fast, because I really think he's that good. Jamie, hi. My art teacher years ago taught me to put a couple of drops of dish soap in the water I use to clean my brushes when I paint with watercolor. Do you recommend doing this? I don't have any experience doing this, so I can't really recommend it. But if it works for you, Escoda has a special soap for the brushes. So that I could definitely recommend, because it's special for that, so it does work. But I don't know if dish soap. I have no idea. Sorry. Heather Rose, I often use. Oh, okay. When I'm using, I often use 2 to 3 brushes for different color paints, so I don't have to stop and rinse. That is 100% great tip. So you don't have to rinse your brushes so often. Yeah, definitely. That's great advice. So I don't remember who asked that, but that is great advice about switching brushes. Yeah, do that. Especially if you're really using the same colors. I didn't think about that scenario, but this is so true. Great tip. Swarnadeep says, where do you get your reference photos? Do you click for yourself? So I take a lot of photos myself around the city whenever I see something nice. And I use that for my paintings, the ones that I usually sell, the ones in the gallery. Now, I do use websites like Pixabay. It's one of the best, I think. And I usually link down below. And you can search anything there, and you'll find great reference photos. So that's what I recommend. There's also Pexels, Pexels. Don Lee, hi Liron, greetings from Malaysia. Really love your work and been learning from your YouTube channel. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Don Lee, for being here and for commenting and being live. That's like the best. That's a gift. Everyone who's here, thank you so much for giving me the gift of your presence. Marjorie Johnson, P.S. I have a 55-year-old Winsor Newton wash brush, but they aren't what they used to be. I paid a week's wages for it then. Wow, that's, well, if it's 55 years old and it's still functional in some way, then I think that's great. Simone Merli, Italian brushes. Cool. Yeah, I'll check these out. Freaking Morons. Yeah, I was there for the head drawing and a couple of other streams. Currently drawing some basic shapes. What exercises do you do for basic shapes? For example, stacking boxes in perspective. Oh, yeah, that's cool. I don't even go that far. Honestly, I just draw tons of boxes in different angles. Sometimes I'll stretch them. Here's something cool you can try, but it's hard. Twist them. Try and twist the box. That's really hard. So that the top and bottom, if it's just a box, they're aligned. But if you twist them in different directions, then you'll have to connect them diagonally. It's a really fun exercise. I do spheres a lot, and then I do the cross contour around them. Another good exercise, if you're a little more advanced, is to turn things into boxes. So look at this, for example, toilet paper roll, and turn it into a box in space. Draw the box in the same angle. Same for the head, right? You look at your head, or just reference photos, and draw a box that represents it. It's actually a good exercise. But yeah, boxes, spheres, cones, all of that, ovals, all of these things, ellipses. That's what I usually do. I like to do ellipses and find the long and short axis. That's really useful as well. Marjorie Johnson, Sarah posts on Facebook, you with the large urban painting, a great picture with a great watercolor. Thank you so much. I think it's the Fifth Avenue painting from New York. That was really fun to paint. Alexander L, hello from Brazil. Hello, thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here. Christine, thank you so much for the prayers. Swarnadeep, I have been following your work for some time now, and it really helps me how to progress for final piece. Thank you so much. Yeah, good. I'm happy I can help that way. I think everyone learns different things from different people. And if I can provide some of your watercolor knowledge, that is great. I'm so happy to hear. Marjorie, you should do a seminar with Steve Mitchell. Wouldn't that be fabulous? Yeah, that could be cool. Or even another interview, like a follow-up interview. Yeah. Scars, a lot of love is being sent your way. Banani Kovani, thanks. I meant the artistic approach. I'm doing a lot of his paintings along with him at night, and it always turns out well, indeed, very effective. Yeah, he's just really good. He's just really good. You can tell that he's classically trained. I think, like traditionally, in the classic style of art, he has a method that works, and he's a master of it. And Scars, thank you. Bye bye for now, and we'll be in touch for sure. So yeah, I think this is a good point. I actually caught up with the comments in the chat. I think this is a good point to wrap it up. An hour and 50 minutes. My voice is getting a bit tired, so I'll need to rest. Plus, I have a bit more work to be done. But I will thank all of you for being here. I really, really appreciate that. I hope you enjoyed this kind of a chill stream. I really needed it for my soul. Because the interviews, there's a lot of responsibility. I just feel that responsibility whenever I do interviews. I have to make sure everything turns out well. I have to make sure the artists have a good time, and I have to make sure you have a good time. And somehow the recent live streams that are painting have been just 5 paintings in one stream. So that's a lot. So I needed this week to rest a bit. I have an interview scheduled, I think not next week, but the one after that. Let me just check real quick. Next Thursday. I don't even see it. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. So I have an interview for the 7th, as of now, I believe, 7th of October, which is going to be great fun. You will see. It's a surprise for now. Not 7th, sorry, 14th, I think. I don't know. I have it in my schedule. I'm just not sure of the date, but I have it scheduled. Great artist. I think you'll enjoy it. I think it's going to be really fun. But for now, and probably next week, next week I'll see what I'll do. I'm not sure. Well, I'll find something cool else that's cool to do. Maybe it'll be a simple painting. Maybe it'll be a simple drawing. We'll see. Thank you, John. Thank you so much to everyone who is here. Check out the Discord. I will try and link to that maybe in the comments. Remind me if I forget, please. I keep forgetting stuff like that. But if you want to have like a closer community that you can share your art, get some feedback, great people over there. A lot of people participate. That'll be fun. So I hope to see you there, and I hope to see you in the next video, in the next live stream. Take care, stay safe, and we will talk again real soon.